Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Evie and I have another mixed media layout for you. I am using pattern papers from my homemade kit that I recently posted. These are 2 pages from Pink Paisley Cedar Lane. I am using this one that is actually called Cedar Lane. And then the other teal minty color paper is from Jen Hadfield Homemade Collection. And I am cutting up strips of 2x2 squares. I don't have a punch this size, so I was using just my paper trimmer to achieve this. And I wanted to play around with either a square pattern on this bold stripe pattern, also from the Cedar Lane collection, or I wanted to do like diagonals. And I loved how all the colors work together. And I'm kind of fussing around with it to see if I want it vertical or horizontal, or favoring one side of the page compared to the other. And so I'm just showing you kind of my thought process in order to get where I simply arrived to. And I simply thought that using the striped pattern was just way too busy in bold for also adding in the squares. So then I decided to use the opposite side and actually use some of these 2x2 squares in the mix of my pattern that I wanted to achieve. And I did have white cardstock ready to go just in case that kind of intermediate thought process was a fail. So I was prepared. And I do like this, I just don't love it as far as a pattern's concerned. And I do, again, since all the colors work really well together, no matter what of the sentiments I use from that cut apart piece would also work into the picture. And the picture, as always, is me scrapping my 2 wonderful dogs. And I printed it in a black and white tone image, but you can kind of make out a little bit of the minty blue color of Kobe's bow tie, which is just, playing with, the settings on your phone, which kind of worked out really nice. And they're both just sitting on a park bench. And what's funny about this picture too is that the only way they got to sit still forever is that we were right by the water, and they were literally mesmerized by birds. There were so many birds behind me during this little snapped photo because I didn't have treats on this walk, which usually gets any dog to do what you say, right? So I am liking this just classic horizontal pattern that I got going on, and I'm just swapping out the sentiments for some of the pattern squares that I use. So I'm using that hello and enjoy today, enjoy every moment, and I'm kind of demoing out, having a strip of the squares on the top of the page, which I think actually does make it to the final layout as well. So here I am matting the picture. I will mat, I guess I didn't show it yet, will mat the picture to that denim 6x6 square you saw, and that was from the We Are Memory Keepers denim collection that was also included in my homemade kit. And I glued all of the squares down, so I'm committing to all of it. The process is evolving. And I like this denim paper. It adds just like, it's different than adding just black. This is like dark navy tone, which is, it complements it, and it definitely makes it pop a little further. So I did end up adding, the strip of, the half squares I think I did up top in the patterns as well. And I do add the littler strips, so a quarter strip on the bottom right side of the page too, which looks like semi-happening off camera. My apologies for that. Sometimes when you're working, you don't realize what is in view and what isn't, because my camera hangs above my head and as far as my setup is concerned. So now for the mixed media, as always, folks, I am adding white gesso to the page, and I am trying to tone down some of the bold colors. And I did add gesso. You're just seeing me toward the end because you've seen me add gesso to my pages plenty of times that I didn't think you wanted to see the whole thing. And now I am adding, this is Cracked Pistachio Distress Paint with the packaging technique. So what I did was, daub out a little squirt of paint, 1 spritz of water to get it more viscosity so that it has more of a wash look than anything else. And then I'm also added in, that is Heidi Swap's Color Shine, and I want to say it's called Mint. It's one of the old packaging ones. I know she came out with like patina. So it's adding a shimmery element to my mixed media on there. And then the thin color shine 2, this one is coral, which is also very shimmery. So I like the tones because, again, it's all in the same color family. And then I am using the coral as well for some ink splatters along the page. And then I will start doing my layering with my picture and adding some ephemera. But I do love mixed media on most of my layouts. It's just the best thing for both worlds. My scrapbooking has gone to definitely another level with it. So I do appreciate using my fun art supplies with my scrapbooking layouts. It's awesome. And I guess some of my corners, I noticed once you add wet medium to it, you can tell which corners had no adhesive, which was pretty much all of them because I just added glue in the center. So I was reinforcing all the corners for my layout, which secures it more. And what's good right now is that even the minimal amount of wet medium I did use, it didn't warp as much as I thought it would, which is good because you always have a bit of warping no matter what. Now this ephemera I'm adding is from the Cedar Lane die cut pack. So that acetate piece, that's a reef, I cut it in half. This tag and that little, what is it, like a tab label that says Splendid on a wood grain is all from that collection. But this Happy Day I've been hoarding from Maggie Holmes' confetti collection, and I just love that it's on vellum. I love the script, and it fit quite beautifully right there. But the rest of the pieces are all from Cedar Lane. So these flowers that are acetate. And that collection from Pink Paisley, if you have it, you know what I'm talking about, was a great array of acetate, vellum, and cardstock, and you got so many pieces. So if it's still available, I would highly recommend the ephemera pack from Pink Paisley Cedar Lane because it was definitely an awesome die cut pack to have. So I go in and fill some squares. I think I add a little bit something something to all the squares just to add a little pop of something so it added more interest to the page. I do bust out these glitter stickers that were from the Target that I added in my kit, and I also used the Craft Market puppy stickers that were like a gold color, gold and like a cream, which again worked really well in this layout and for my kit. So that was also really good. My kits, I still have plenty of paper to use. Right now this I think is my 5th layout using my kit. If you saw my kit, remember I did the 5 at my crop, and then this is another one since then utilizing the contents. I'm using some tangled thread in like a teal color and then this coral, again just for added texture. This is definitely an inspired element that I think I first saw Missy Whedon do, and I have just slowly developed my thread collection as well. I do enjoy the tangled thread look to my layouts as well. So I definitely, again, love this community. I love watching other YouTubers and including like special little unthought of elements that I wouldn't have thought of because of this community. So it's really just fantastic. This is some washi tape still from the Jen Hadfield DIY home that I'm adding just for a little bit more black, so it's like polka dotted with black, and it just adds something nice. Thank you once again for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, have a good day. Bye.